Welcome to class. Today we are recovery focused in that rather than holding positions in a static way, we will be embodying them. So transitions are emphasized rather than the shapes themselves. That said, be sure to support yourself where you are. I encourage you to have a pair of blocks. If you don't have blocks, anything that's going to close the gap between your fingers and the floor. As we move through these lengthened positions that involve rotation and lateral flexion, so twists and extending, you want to have those available so that we can target the areas that we are trying to target rather than compensate somewhere else. This is a nooks and crannies class, so we're getting into some hard to reach areas in ways that might be unfamiliar as we navigate territory that perhaps we haven't been in before, or at least not in any kind of regularity. A majority of this class is going to be grounded with our knees down. So if you'd like to double up your mat, please do so. If you want to place a blanket or a pillow underneath your knee, that is also an option. And as with all classes, this is a mind-body practice. The breath is what threads the two. So this is our nervous system. The breath is what creates the ambiance. It is what creates the experience that you have. So be sure that you're breathing the entire way through. We will be utilizing ujjayi, which is traditional for a vinyasa practice, just like waves coming in and out, inhaling, expanding, taking our time there, and flowing right into an exhale that has some slight constriction in the back of the throat, which creates that wave-like sound. So we will begin on our mats in a sukhasana, which is a cross-legged seat with our right foot in front. Beginning with our right shin in front, arriving in our breath, ujjayi breathing. Close the eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you do so, soften through your pelvic floor. Allow your belly to expand, your side body to lengthen, and your chest to lift. As you exhale, slight constriction through the back of the throat. Gentle lift through the pelvic floor. Gentle draw in, navel to spine. Ribs coming in towards midline. Soft through the chest, through those shoulders, but keep the length. Inhale, breathing deeply in, soft pelvic floor. Expand the belly, lift the chest. And exhale. Gentle lift. Gentle drawing in. Let's take one more breath in. And as you exhale, crawl your hands forward. Coming into a forward fold, adding a sway here. Beginning to wake up the hips, the side body, the shoulders. The closer that your hands are to your shins, the more flexion you're going to get through the spine. The further away you have your hands, the more extension. So maybe length through the side body, through the neck. Stay soft through your fingers, your wrists, through those shoulders. Now let's take our left elbow, hook it in front of the left shin. Reach your right hand over towards the right side. Your left thumb might come in towards your chest. Glide across, right fingertips to the left diagonal. Begin to peel open. Press into your elbow and close it off. Sweep it over and return to your diagonal. Reaching and extending one more time over to the right. Bring it to the left. Now we're going to lift up overhead, big circle around, and bring it across. So just like you've got a lasso with this right arm, big circle. Let's do this one more time, full circle. And land in your prayer twist. Left palm up, right palm comes on top. Press down, lift up and out, length through the neck, and look up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, feel that expansion through the side body, through the back. And exhale, fold it forward, re-extend those arms. Inhale as you sit yourself up. We're coming into a boat pose. You can use those fingertips if you need them. Lean back. Toes can stay on the mat, or float your shins parallel to the floor. Maybe your arms extend. Take a look down. You want to eliminate any doming. So if it looks like the top of a loaf of bread through your midsection, place the hands down, place those toes down. Think about drawing everything in and up. Gentle lift through that pelvic floor. Let's add on here, extending one leg. Maybe you lean back, and the other. Extending and extending. Maybe you bicycle them around, so smoothing out the spaces in between. Maybe you lower down. Yes, this is work. Keeping those shoulders lifted, keeping everything drawing in towards midline. Let's keep bicycling around, extending, or stay static in your version of Navasana. Now bring it back up. If you were low, you got to put on the brakes and cross your left shin in front. Extend your arms out in front of you. Let gravity help you out, and find some movement. So you can make this big, you can make it small, you can exaggerate coming over to one side and the other. Notice the weight shifting onto one hip and the other, forward and back on the sits bones into the pinky edges of those feet. Take this right elbow, hook it in front of the right shin. Your thumb can come in towards the chest. Reach your left arm over to the left. Now let's peel it open to the right diagonal. So now my chest is coming towards the floor and opening towards that left side. Soft through the shoulders, soft through the fingers, maybe making it a bit dancey. Let's take it all the way around this time. Reach it up, out, and around. Finding some movement, fluidity through the spine, through the side body. Maybe rotating through the neck, following fingertips with the gaze this time. Right palm faces the ceiling, left palm comes on top. Press down, lengthen, lifting up and out with the neck, and look up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and close this off. Let's return to our Navasana boat. Any version that calls to you. Extending through the legs, bicycling things out, keeping that navel point drawn in, pelvic floor gently lifting up. If you exhale, little cough maybe, even a little laugh. You should feel everything pull in, those deep abdominal muscles drawing towards midline. So we've got a bunch of layers in through there. They go all different directions. We want to get them all working, all helping us out here. If you are in a low boat, come up into the high boat, put on those brakes, cross at the ankles, and come through into a tabletop. We want to be more or less towards the center of our mat. Fingertips forward, toes are tucked underneath you. Let's send our right leg back behind us. Kickstand on those toes. Take a little shift forward and back. So I want you to find movement through the torso. You can shrug the shoulders, maybe add a little scap push-up, movement through the pelvis, tucking, lifting, maybe a full cat and cow. Just do what feels right for you in this moment. This is what this class is about. Now let's drop the right hip towards the mat. Look over that left shoulder. And the opposite. Over to the left, look to the right. Let's take it to the left and to the right. Lower your left forearm down. Fingertips are on the diagonal. We're going to lengthen the levers. I'm going to send my left foot over to the left a little bit. Extend your right arm out in front of you. You can drop your back heel down. Maybe you drop your front armpit down. Maybe you lift and hover those fingertips and those toes off of the mat. Squaring and stacking through the hip. Maybe you continue to find those undulations through the spine. Rolling forward and back, moving through the shoulders, through the tail, through the pelvis. Continuing to breathe and staying soft. Okay. Let's come up onto the left hand, fully open to that right side in our gate pose. Send your right fingertips towards the ceiling. Extend them really far overhead. Now draw them underneath the body towards those left toes. Re-extend towards that top right corner and reach it back behind you. So we're threading on the diagonal, reaching underneath, lifting up and out. Follow fingertips with the gaze. Last one, reach it under. Keep your hands low. You're going to shift forward into your left side. Plant your right foot down. Toes are towards the back corner. Now glide across as you sit into a low half squat towards the back of your mat. Your knee is tracking in the same direction as those toes. Imagine you're picking something up off of the ground. Lift to the chest and reach. Put it on the shelf. So we're coming down towards the right, sinking into that hip, pressing down and lifting up and out on the diagonal. One more, grab a hold, place it on the shelf. Lower the hands down. Let's return to our tabletop. So we have to swivel on the shin, pivot on the ball of the back foot. We've got all 10 toes tucked underneath us. Float things up, pressing the mat away, drawing the navel point in, pulling up through the pelvic floor. Now rotate to the right. Your right heel goes down. Your left arm comes up. Drop your right hip down to the mat. Take this left foot, bring it in just above the knee in front of your right leg. If you'd like, you can come down onto your right forearm. Shift those hips really far forward. You can press the pinky edge of that foot down into the mat. Hopefully you get a stretch through the front side of the hips and through that side body. If you'd like a little more, heel comes in towards the glute. Reach around for that foot. Bring it in nice and close. If you are up on your hands, you might lift up and off of the mat, just like so. Make sure that you support yourself where you are. If you feel something in your knee, that is too much. Let's take another breath in. Imagine that there's lungs expanding on the front of your right thigh. And as you exhale, release. Leg releases to the back. Left hand comes down, right hand comes down. Lift the hips up and pivot. Return to your hovering tabletop. Let's send our left leg up towards the ceiling. Three-legged downward facing dog, letting things wake up as we go. Step that left foot all the way to the top of your mat. Lower your right knee down. Toes tucked or untucked. Inhale, extend the arms skyward. Flip the right palm towards the ceiling. Reach for the wrist. Take a bend, reaching towards that left side. Now, coming around in a big circle, you can begin to extend through the front leg. Bring it across, so parallel to the top of the mat. Rebend as you come through center. Now you can make this bigger, extending the leg fully, coming through a half split. You can release the bind of the hands. Maybe you're using the hands on blocks. Maybe you're bringing them around to the side. Maybe you're making this very dynamic. So exaggerating it, making things as large as possible. Maybe you're keeping it relatively controlled. We are going to land in our half split with a twist. So extend through that leg, reach on the diagonal. Your hands might come over to your thigh. Chest is open towards the left. Maybe it comes on the inside with a block. Maybe hand down on the floor. Maybe to the outside. Continue that rotation. Extend your left fingertips towards the ceiling. Let's stay here for a breath in. Lengthen through the neck. Draw those shoulders down. And out. Move into that rotation. With your next inhale, bend through the front leg. Arms stay in this T shape as your torso lifts. Maybe you reverse, reaching your right fingertips up, left fingertips down. Exhale, right elbow finds the thigh. Make that tray, palm to palm, twisting in our prayer. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee up, press down, lift up and out. Scissor those inner thighs towards one another. Let's find a little shift forward and back, initiating from that right foot. This time as you shift forward, step it up. Let's release those hands.
Uttanasana, forward fold. Make your way center on your mat if you are not. Generous bend through those knees. Inhale, roll up to standing. Send your arms high. Exhale, flip your right palm, reach for the wrist. Weight goes over to the right, extend over to the left. Now take a big circle around. I want you to exaggerate rounding through your back. So I can bring my hands all the way down towards the floor, but I'm not targeting my hamstrings down here. I want to get my low back. So I'm going to push, I'm going to tuck my tail underneath, and I'm going to spend some time slowing it down as if I'm in a cat. So big round and big lift. This next one, I want you to keep those arms on the diagonal. Straighten through the right leg, bend through the left. Continue to reach, 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 driving that heel back behind you. So I'm pulling the hip back, I'm reaching the fingertips forward, and I'm looking underneath the right armpit. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Fold it through or come through that circle. Let's release the arms down by our sides. Let's inhale. Right knee comes along with us. Arms rise up. Maybe tippy toes on the left. Exhale, heel comes down. Send that leg back. Tap the toes down. Hands land. Sweep the left leg high. Let's exhale. Shift forward, single leg plank. You can place the foot down if you need to. Lower, hover that right knee. And then finally, land everything down on the mats. Begin to find those forward, back shifts, movement through the hips, through the shoulders, maybe some semicircles around, barrel rolls. Maybe dropping the hip, looking over the shoulder. Just feeling it out before we lengthen our levers. Right forearm goes down, fingertips on the diagonal. You might swivel on that shin so that you have more support. Extend the left arm out in front. You can drive your back heel down, lifting up, maybe a little float, stacking the hips, squaring the hips, finding some circles, figure eights through the pelvis, shrugs through the shoulders, and play with the gaze. So your body's gonna go where your eyes go. Look around, make it weird. These weird things that we never get into, that are hard to cue, and that can be a bit awkward, are the first things to go, because we're never in them. So you want to be able to access these positions, but that means spending time finding them. Let's come up onto the hands. Everything faces the left. Circle the left arm overhead. Let's thread through on the diagonal. So it's as if you're reaching towards those right toes. Re-extend towards the ceiling. Find that thread through and re-extend. Reach it back behind you. Thread it on through and under. Follow the fingertips with your gaze. Threading through as if you're rounding over a big ball and lifting up. The next time that you bring that hand down, bend through your back knee, glide it over to the back, lowering those hips on down. Knee tracking over those toes. Pick something up and place it on the shelf as you lift up and out. So sink it low, press through the foot, lift up and rotate. One more. Grab something, maybe reach and extend, and up on the shelf. Returning to our tabletop position, swivel on the knee, tuck through all 10 toes, lift and find your hover. Rotate to the pinky edge of your left foot. Lift your right hand up. Your right heel can come down. Side plank as we transition. Lowering the hip down. Pulling the heel up and in. Staying on the hand or coming down onto our forearm. This might be enough. So I'm shifting my weight forward. I'm tucking my tail under. Slight activation through the glute. Pressing the pinky edge of that left foot down into the floor. If you want to intensify, bring your heel towards your glute, reach around for that ankle. You can even peel open through the chest, but we're really targeting the hip flexors and the quadriceps, so the front side of that thigh. Make sure that you continue to breathe in and out. Let's release that foot. Hand finds the ground. Opposite hand finds the ground. Return to your tabletop. Send your right heel high, bend that knee, stack that hip open. Now step it up, replacing that hand. Lower your left knee down. Inhale, arms rise up. Flip the left palm, reach for the wrist, take a side bend, and then circle around. So what you do on one side may be different than what you do on the other. Continue to breathe, arms up, you're inhaling, arms down, you're exhaling. Maybe you begin to add the bend and straighten through that leg. Maybe your arms are following along, making big arcing, sweeping circles. Maybe you're keeping them clasped. You could even grab a block here, or maybe a tiny little weight so that you can have that isometric press, palm to palm, and some additional weight for the torso. Let's land in our half split with a twist. Front leg straight, hand to thigh, to a block inside or mat inside or outside. Extend through your right arm, square through your hips, right hip forward, left hip down and back. As you inhale, bend through that front leg, keep the twist, perhaps dance your lunge, lifting through your front arm. Exhale, elbow comes to thigh, palm to palm, press down, lift up and out, tuck and lift through that back leg. Begin to shift forward and back, keep the length through the neck, keep the breath flowing in and out. Let's step it up with control. Release the hands, forward fold. Inhale, press through the feet, roll up to standing, send your arms high, flip your left palm, reach for the wrist. Reach over to the right, take your big circles around, so keep them pretty high. We're tucking the tail, tucking the chin, lifting through center, bending through those knees, soft through the ankles, soft through the feet. Notice that weight shift to the right and to the left. This next time that we come around, we're going to bend through that right leg, straighten through the left, push against that wrist, and then peek underneath the armpit. So I'm exaggerating the rotation through that left side. I'm targeting this right here between the ribs and the hips. Let's take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, fold or continue your circle around. Let's rise it back up. Inhale, lifting the left leg with us, tippy toes if you can. Exhale, heel comes down, leg sweeps back, toes down, sweep that right leg high. Exhale, plank, lower the knee, lower the toes. Let's swivel our shin across our mat, glide ourselves back, coming into a pigeon. You can come down onto the forearms. Maybe you're rocking side to side. Now bring those elbows in close. Bring your right hand behind your head. Press the back of your hand into those fingertips. As you inhale, press down into the left forearm. Drive your right elbow up. As you exhale, drive that right elbow across. Let's inhale, lift it up. Exhale, draw it across. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw it across. See if you can get all the way across that forearm. You can stay right here. Maybe extend your right arm and then drop your right shoulder down. Release through the neck. Release through those shoulders. Try not to let your body roll all the way over to the right. Stay rooted through that left hip. Let's release. Sit all the way onto that hip. Draw the sole of the foot in. And reach towards the back of your mat, towards those toes. Inhale as you sit yourself up. Returning to your tabletop and switching. Opposite side, swivel the shin, glide it back, come down onto the forearms. Little side to side rock here. Now bring your right forearm very close to the knee. Bring the left hand behind the head. Press into the right forearm, peel open. Exhale, draw that elbow across. See if you can get all the way towards that right side of your mat. Let's inhale and exhale. One more, breathing in, breathing out, coming across, extending the arm, hold, and releasing through the head. Now you can find a little rock. If you rock more over to the left, you're going to target the shoulder, the side body a little bit. If you rock over to the right, you're going to get into that outer hip a lot more. Let's uncross, press down, sole the foot in. We're rotating towards the back of the mat here. Maybe you keep things really low, stretching through the hamstring now. Of course, the back of the body is lengthening, the side of the body. Continue to breathe, continue to find some movements. Let's release, bringing it back to the front. Knees come together, big toes touch, hips towards the heels, extend the arms out in front of you. Child's pose. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale and release. Again, envisioning the breath as a wave, letting it wash in and recede out, taking anything that no longer serves you with it, all of that excess, all of that waste. Continuing to breathe in through the nose. Gentle lift, gentle constriction as you exhale. Let's walk the hands in. Just going to sit onto the hip, extend the legs out, and come onto the back. Finishing up with some figure fours. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Wiggle those hips side to side. Now crawl your right foot towards the right side of your mat. Use the weight of your left leg to pull your inner thigh towards the mat. You can open through this arm here. You can take your left hand, rest it on that left leg. If you drive your knee more in line with the hip, you might intensify the stretch. If you feel anything in the knee itself, adjust. Soft through the toes, through the feet, the ankles, and through those inner thighs. Let's return through center, supporting yourself. I'm going to crawl my foot across, bring the knee up. Now crawl the right foot all the way to the left and drop your left foot to the right. Same thing here. If you need to adjust, adjust. I like to bring my hand to that ankle and open through that opposite arm. Roll those shoulders back. Breathing in, expanding through that outer left hip, and out. Let's return through center. Give that leg a hug in, nice and close. Maybe you even grab the shin and pull it in yourself. Let's lower that right foot, extend the left leg, hands come behind. Can you pull that thigh close to your belly? Bend that knee, lower the foot down, cross your right over. Find some movement through the pelvis, taking your time. Heel toeing the left foot to the left. Maybe moving it so far that your knee and your hip stay in line. and then lowering through your internal rotation. Give those shoulders a roll down. Opening through the left arm, bringing the right hand towards the right thigh. Soft through the toes, the ankles, the glutes, and through that torso. Heel toe it back in. We're going to take this all the way across, keeping your figure four, dropping the foot to the left, opening through the right, bringing the heel in, and maybe grabbing the ankle with the left hand, finding that rotation. Breathing in deep. And releasing. Return to your figure four. We're going to hug that left knee in or wrap around the right shin like you're cradling a baby, hugging it in close, lowering the left foot down, bringing the right knee to chest, and then extending through that leg, maybe grabbing behind it, trying to draw your low back down to the mat if it starts to peel up. Let's release. Send both of those legs out towards the top of your mat. Let your toes fall open. Roll the shoulders underneath you, lengthen through the neck. Now land the hands down, either next to you, palms down to ground, up if you're open to receiving, or bring your hands to your body if you'd like that feedback from your breath. Let's scan our body beginning from our toes, releasing any tension, any sense of holding or gripping that might remain. Softening through the sole of the foot, through the heels, and through the ankles, along the length of our shin, around the knees, through the thighs, through our glutes, through the front of the hips and the pelvic floor, softening through the lower abdomen, through the low ribs, along the side body, heavy through the shoulder blades, weight sinking through the arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, and those hands through each finger. Softness through the front of the chest, through the shoulders, along the sides of the neck, through the jaw, teeth falling away from one another, tongue to the roof of the mouth, the area surrounding the ears, inviting that softness to draw across your cheekbones towards your nose, and to the area surrounding your eyes. Moving in between the eyes and upwards through the eyebrows to the forehead. And soft all the way to the top of the head. Let's take a deep breath in. Open the mouth. Sigh it out. Move in any way that you need to. Coming to your side. Drawing your knees towards you. Making a pillow with that bottom arm. Bringing your top arm across your chest. Pressing into that hand as you lift up into a seated position. You can return cross-legged, maybe your left foot in front this time. Coming full circle back to where we began. Breathing deep in through the nose, allowing those waves to flow in. Exhaling, letting them wash away anything that no longer serves you. You know, sometimes we find these treasures, sometimes we hold on to things far longer than they are in service to us. They can sometimes even become a detriment. So something that is protective, helpful, useful at a certain point in our lives or in a certain scenario does not mean that that is going to apply across lifespan or extend in all situations. And it is important to hold things gently, to recognize the service that those elements have provided for us, but also to be willing to let them go. It doesn't mean that they're never going to come again. It doesn't mean that they were bad. It doesn't mean getting rid of the things that we value. Rather, it's creating space for patterns, for behaviors, for items, for knowledge, for experience that supports where you are now and does not keep you tethered to the versions of yourself that once occupied those spaces. Let's extend our arms out to the side, palms up. Draw those hands in. Taking this moment to acknowledge your practice, to express gratitude to yourself. Recognizing your willingness to show up. Your efforts here on the mat. And the potential that you have yet to tap into. Let's release those hands. Open your eyes if they were closed. And that is going to conclude our practice today. If you enjoyed this class, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave me feedback below should you need any clarification, if there are things that you would like to see in future classes, or if there are things that really didn't work for you in this class. I'd love to know about it. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you here